Oh yeah, look at this, guys. You guys wanted some diamonds? How about that? Over a stack of diamonds that I got off camera. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WhiteFyr's Frontier. It has been a little bit since the last episode, and as you can see, I've done some mining. We now have a stack and 21 more diamonds than we had before, which is, well, it's better than what we had before. And as you can see, I've been doing some wheat field grinding over here. I did this on a stream and it's looking pretty darn good, I would have to say. I still want to expand this over to this way, and it still needs to expand that way. But if we take an aerial view, what if I hopped off of here, kind of go above? You guys can see, yeah, look at this. Oh man, it's looking so much better, guys. Looking so much better already with all of these wheat fields. And once we get more crops in, I plan on putting more crops on that side, going all the way down. It'll look even better, I think. So as long as we keep on expanding this, I'm not going to expand it across the bridge, but keeping it in this little area, I think will be just fine. But ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode, we're going to be starting two projects, actually. Both of them are village projects. This is WhiteFyr's Frontier, after all, and I do want to, well, first off, this is my channel. This is me we're talking about, and of course I've got to build some villages. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start building two villages, a farming village and I guess a jungle village. So I mentioned to you guys previously that I wanted the village over this way, over in this vicinity of the area, and I'm thinking a jungle village will do just fine in this style with a lot of stone, maybe some jungle wood being used. Would be awesome to have around this temple. Plenty of temples I actually want to add, smaller temples probably, but just temples in general I would love to have for just random purposes, maybe for some mob farms or things like that. But I was also realizing that I was looking at like old Aztec villages and stuff, and I came across a lot of farming villages, which makes a lot of sense. They would need to farm a lot of food. Food was not as easy to come by back then, so I figured over on this side, since I really didn't have anything else to put over in this farming area, I thought, what if, because I've been questioning about what I want to put over here, what if we added a little bit of a farming village over here? Lots of crops, so this would be the main crops down here. We'd have to maybe restructure this barn right here as well, but what if we added a nice little farming village over here? That'd be pretty cool, right? That'd be pretty cool. Have a nice little farming village in this little forest area. It could go right through the mountain here, and they could have settled in this valley right here, which I think would be pretty darn cool. It's not too far from the jungle, and I think it sort of fit in the area. So today I want to kind of start both of those villages, get some solid like regular house designs done for them, and see how they look in the area. Get a lot of progress clearing stuff, and see what we can do. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started working on some designs for both of the villages and see what I can come up with. And I'll see you all with a progress update in just a moment. So I've got something done for the farming village that I at least want to try out and see what happens with it. I noticed for the farming village, I was looking up stuff about Aztec farming, and a lot of it is just really simple thatch roofs. So I'm thinking a lot of our builds are just going to be inspired by Aztec building farming village stuff. That way we can do a little more with it. Obviously the other village is going to be a little more, I guess both of them are Aztec inspired, but the other one's going to be a little more on par with how the Aztecs would have built than this farming village will be. But this is the sort of design I've gone with for a very basic farming village house so far. I've tried a whole bunch of different things for the outline here of the roof, and essentially I've just stuck with the oak wood. I can't find anything that I really like outside of that, so the oak wood I think looks okay. I could use spruce, but I'd rather use materials that I would find in the area. And speaking of that, I have found some bricks to be quite useful for these houses. I don't use bricks a whole lot. I've been using them a little more recently, but I don't use bricks a whole lot. And in terms of this style of build, I think it works really, really well, obviously with the leaves and all that kind of stuff. I went with the hay bales, of course, in the roof as well. That was the main thing I was focusing on for this world, or for this village, was these hay bales, because it is much more like thatch. So we walk inside. It's a very, very simple build. I haven't done the interior, but this is all you see from the inside. So basically we probably have another level, I don't know, like right here maybe, something like that. And we would maybe have like a ladder in the, not in this corner, but like here. And you would go up and there would be another roof level up here. So something really, really simple like that. We can vary the height of each of them. We can vary what sort of attachments are to them. But the whole point of the farming village would have very simple houses, maybe like a few bigger here, a few smaller there. But the main focus obviously being on the farms themselves. So animal pens and huge fields of wheat and carrots and stuff like that, I think would be pretty beneficial. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to build this house in the world itself, see if I can find myself a nice little, I guess, flattish area to settle down in and see what else, see how it looks, I guess. So yeah, I went ahead and just built the entire thing. It is all done, and I actually improved upon it. I said in the last clip that I wasn't going to use spruce, and there is a mountain biome right over here, so I figured it would be accessible, so I figured I would add spruce, and it adds a ton to the build. You can see I added in some buttons on the sides with the hay bales for the thatched roof. I added in some windows on the sides here as well as some path blocks, a few little bits of color, and some lanterns. And I think that this house is a perfect starter house, or a perfect like little simple village house for the area. So let's step inside as well. I'll show you guys what I've done inside of here. So as you can see, I think I'm just going to use this for some storage for now. I have a whole bunch of barrels just kind of tucked into here, a few lanterns to make things a little bit easier. I use, or I guess a little easier to see and to keep mobs from spawning. I have the hay bales on the floor as well, and I think that they look pretty cool. I like the pattern here. Might add some carpets actually. I don't really know if they would have carpets, but I think this is a pretty cool little place. And I think actually having the roof like this is pretty cool. If we need a second floor, that'd be all right. We can add like a second floor, but I think for now this is just fine. I really do think that it is just fine. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And I think if we add more like branches to it, it'll look a lot better. I'm really happy with the brick as well. I think it looks really darn cool. So we get a huge, I guess a 360 angle on this. I really like these little windows as well. So I'm really excited to expand upon this. And speaking of expanding upon things, I think it's about time we talked about the pathway design for this village as well. Now, this pathway design I've used before, so I don't really know if I want to use it or if I want to modify it, but essentially the pathway design I've used before, I actually used this on Afterlife Season 2 if you guys were around for that. It was at my base. I was thinking some coarse dirt like this and mixing in some, let's get this, mixing in some brown concrete powder. I think that would be really, really cool. And if we could add in some grass as well, that'd be okay. But I think just having this little mixture would be just fine. Yeah. I mean, it's a little hard to see with the grass still growing in over here, but something really simple like this, I think would work out pretty well. We can, I guess, mess around with this a little bit more, but yeah, just something really, really simple like this would work out pretty darn well for a path. We could do something like that, and something like that, and then something like that. That works. Yeah, something really, really simple like that. It adds in sort of the dirt pathway that I'm used to from like a farm atmosphere, but makes it a little more pathway-ish, I guess, and really puts down a nice defined dirt pathway. So I really like the brown concrete powder for this. I think it looks really, really darn cool. But yeah, essentially, I've also been doing some other things, guys. I did a live stream where I went ahead and worked on this area. As you can see, it's all lit up now. We've started terraforming it. We've started breaking down some of the hills. We head over this way. Yeah, you can see all of this is now flattened. I think I want to bring this down a few more levels as well. And obviously all these trees have to get out of here. I've started taking down a lot of the trees. We need to sort of make these plateaus. That's what I was thinking would be pretty cool for amplified terrain, is making some more plateaus and making some terraces in the sides of these mountains. To put some of the farms up there as well, I think would be really gosh darn cool. So hopefully we'll get into that very, very soon. Like I said, today's really just a start to this area, but we're going to be doing a lot more from here. So guys, I'm going to head over into the creative world because I want to show you guys the house design I have for the second village, the village that is over here, and that is the, I guess, the regular style Aztec village, or basically just a village over here in the jungle. And I want to head over to the creative world so I can show you guys a house design that I've done that should be a pretty simple one, but might work just fine. So I played around with a few house designs, and I think the basic one I want to go with isn't this one. I definitely want to use some stairs because a lot of the, actually, when I was looking them up, the Aztec style houses and stuff and temples had these stairs leading up to them. So I definitely want to do something like that to lead up to these houses. But this is the sort of basic style that I've gone with. It has it's a nice slanted roof here using slabs, but we'll have to obviously spawn proof this as we go. We might even add in some things like this on top. I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing here. But something like that could be cool. And essentially, it's just a slanted roof. I want to add more variance to this, of course. But I think just adding slabs and using slabs a lot is going to get the sort of style down that I want for this area. And as you can see, the interior for this, very, very small, just like the last build in the farming village. I'm kind of modeling both of the regular village houses, the really small ones, off of a 5x5 interior, so a 7x7 exterior, and kind of branching off from there. So I really like the polished andesite in the corners. They're really cool pillar blocks, and I use them in the jungle temple thingy that we built in a previous episode. Is where all my storage is going to go that I still haven't done. But I really like the texturing here, and I think that this will look pretty cool. I want to add a few into the sides of some mountains as well. And I could, and this is something I've sort of experimented with, I could, if we have any, actually I do already have some of this on me, we could exchange some of this, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe do something like this, and add in some jungle around here. Could be pretty cool, just to sort of accent it. Obviously not exactly like that, we probably have to do something like this or something, but I think having like a little jungle accent could be pretty cool, and yeah, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. We'll have to mess around with it though. I think just the stone for now is okay, but we'll definitely have to mess with adding some jungle in here because I like having jungle in these sorts of builds, and I think it'll work out pretty well. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and build something like this in the world and see how it fits in with the landscape, and I'll bring you guys back for a bit of a progress update on this house in just a moment. So if we head right on around this bend, just around this temple, you will see up here somewhere, I think. It's hidden by the trees. Oh gosh, yeah, up here. Can I see it? Hello, are you there? Yeah, that little thing. So it's not the greatest. I will say I might change these house designs in the future. This is just what I've done right now. It could work in here. Maybe we add a few other things, but this is what we have so far for the house design. I added some leaves around here, added these lanterns in the corners because I think that looks pretty cool. Nice little jungle door, a nice little jungle floor, and some lanterns in the ceiling. So it's not bad. I didn't end up adding the wood on the sides here, even though I probably could do that actually. If I replaced all that with jungle wood, it might look a little bit better. Or maybe if I replace the interior with jungle wood, I don't really know. But either way, it looks all right. I'm not very happy with this house design over here. I'm not too happy with that because I think I can do a lot better. The one over in the farming village I'm pretty happy with, but this one not so much. So we'll work on it. Things around here, I'll have to look up more stuff that's Aztec and more Aztec inspired things, and then we'll get a better idea as to what I want in this area. But the one thing I do know that I want is a pathway design, and I have been working a little bit on a pathway design. At least I came up with one in my head that I think would look pretty darn cool. So if we just kind of place some of these blocks, we're going with a sort of similar sort of idea that we're going with in the farming village, with a little bit of some sporadic placements of some things here. We could do something like this, perhaps. I think adding in the smooth stone slabs is something I definitely want to do. Yeah, just something like this, I think would be a nice addition for this area. It's a little weird to look at right now because it doesn't look all that great. We don't have a whole pathway in. Once we have a pathway like this, it can go around to that entrance. It can go around the side. Just something like this, I think, would be a pretty cool pathway. And even though it doesn't have grass growing through it, so it's not necessarily run down, it feels kind of run down because of how the path is shaped, but it also feels very natural. And that I do want to have a little bit of a natural feel with these stone pathways through here, but at the same time, I would like to have a pathway that is very defined and it doesn't necessarily feel overgrown. So I feel like this pathway is going to work out fine. I think if we add maybe some cracked or mossy variants, it would look even better and fit in with the area a lot more. Obviously on the sides here, I don't have any on me. Is there any over here? Okay, I actually do have some on me. Basically, like little things like this around the sides could be cool. And some fences as well. I don't have any jungle fences on me. Actually, could I make some real quick? I might be able to make some, or there might be some in here. Let's go ahead and open this up. No, there's none in here, but we can make some. So make a few jungle fences. Something like this, and then something just around the edges like this would be cool. Just something really, really simple like that. I could add in some stone walls as well now that I'm thinking about it, like some cobblestone or some stone brick walls. Could be pretty cool, but this is the basic idea of what I'm going with for a pathway. Add in a little bit of a tiny bit of color variation. It's not a whole ton of color here, but a little bit of color variation with the sides. And we'll work on this as things go on. This is just a rough idea as of right now. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you guys think about this sort of pathway design. So yeah, I think things are coming along, guys. If we head back over this way, I'm going to get one last aerial view of the village that's over here, because this is the thing I'm actually the most excited for. I've been flying around here. I've been looking from the tops here down here, and I really like how the roof looks from above at the farming village. So I think we're going to put the village over there on hold for a bit and really focus on this moving forward, because I have a lot of ideas for this village. It has quite a few details that I like, and I think you guys are going to like it as well. So guys, that's actually going to do it, I think, for today's episode. Not the longest of episodes, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for the farming village or the other village, let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' feedback about this. Obviously, we'll do custom trees and stuff. We'll have huge wheat fields and crop fields over here. But if you guys have any other suggestions or just even specific suggestions, like I said, leave them down in the comment section below. But guys, like I said, that is it for today's episode. Let's go ahead and pick a comment for today. And I'll see you all to end off today's episode with a comment in just a moment. So today's comment is from a user by the name of Scary Horror, who said, and I picked this comment because this question does get asked a lot, but who said, what recording software do you use? Now, I've used a few recording softwares throughout the time I've done YouTube. I started off actually with OBS Classic, I think back then. I had some problems with that, so then I switched to Vanilla Action, and then when I had some problems with that, I ended up switching to what I'm using now, which is OBS Studio. I use OBS for pretty much everything I do. I use OBS Studio for recording, and I use Streamlabs OBS for streaming. I've been thinking about switching back over to OBS Studio for streaming as well. Not entirely certain though, to be honest. I kind of like having the two separate. I've always sort of had the two separate, even when I used Marilla's Action for recording. I used OBS Studio, I guess, for streaming. So I like having the two separate, but the recording software I'm currently using is OBS Studio, and I'm very happy with the software. If you guys don't know what OBS is, it's called Open Broadcasting Software or something like that. Essentially, it's an open source, free to download software for you to use for streaming, for recording, and any of the kind of stuff like that. It's a very, very nice software. It's been around for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years probably. It's been around for as long as I've been doing YouTube, and it's a very, very nice software. It's really nice to have, honestly, as a content creator, knowing that I don't necessarily have to pay for it. You can definitely donate, of course, to the project itself, but it's a very nice free software, and I highly, highly recommend it. Assuming that your guys' computers, if you're looking to record or you're looking for a new recording software or streaming software, I highly, highly recommend OBS Studio specifically. Classic's okay, OBS Studio is much better. So definitely recommend it if you guys are looking for a recording or streaming software. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap things up for today. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Fires Frontier. Once again, I do apologize that it's been a little bit, but hopefully we'll get back on track with 2 episodes a week here very, very soon. Yeah, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead, smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and or are not already subscribed. Anyways, guys, take care, and I'll see you later.